ASLM, in collaboration with Africa CDC, is dedicated to enhancing the biosafety and biosecurity capacities and capabilities of African Union member states. Through the Biosafety and Biosecurity Initiative, the partnership aims to ensure that these nations comply with international standards and requirements, fostering a safer and more secure environment for all. Biosafety and biosecurity are critical components of public health. They involve practices and procedures that ensure the safe handling and containment of infectious agents, preventing accidental release and protecting laboratory workers and the public.
This initiative is a project thanks to the Global Affairs Canada, who have been very keen and supportive in terms of the funding and also even technical assistance. And to me, this has been one of the flagship programs in the continent, as it has really brought the member states together to build this biosafety and biosecurity capacity in the continent. Really, I'm so pleased that Africa CDC is taking the lead in this. And ASLM being a strategic partner, we are really working with many countries. ASLM's contribution has been building the capacity in these countries in terms of training and certifying professionals as biosafety and biosecurity experts. As Africa CDC and also as ASLM, we are also ensuring that we build the capacity of centers in Africa that are able to handle some of these high consequence pathogens. So really, we pride ourselves that this is happening at such a time like this in the continent.
Africa faces unique challenges in implementing biosafety and biosecurity measures, from limited resources to the need for specialized training.
As Africa CDC and ASLM and its partners, in the last 2 years, we have developed what is called the Biosafety and Biosecurity Legislative Framework. And in this framework, the very first requirement or the very first domain is that government needs to establish an agency that has the responsibility of coordinating all ministries and different stakeholders within the government. This then ensures there's the central coordination, and one of the requirements is that the government needs to support with its funding direct from the government fiscus, supporting the functioning of these coordination agents.
Tremendously important work that we are doing here together with Africa CDC and our African partners through the Signature Initiative to Mitigate Biological Threats in Africa. SIMBA, the Signature Initiative to Mitigate Biothreats in Africa, was designed to bring us all together and to establish a formal partnership with the Africa Centers for Disease Control and African member countries, so that the work that we do would be well coordinated, would have the highest impact in Africa, and build sustainable health security capacity. Success leads to success. And this has been very successful. A solid foundation has been established, and now we need to build on top of that. The nature of the Signature Initiative is it is not for Canada, members of the global partnership community, to independently come up with the plan for what we're going to do next. It is really for our African partners to drive that narrative.
We took this regional approach as an initiative because, in biosafety and biosecurity, your neighbor's problem immediately becomes your problem. So you have to, address biosafety and biosecurity issues in a collective manner.
Biosecurity and Biosafety Initiative was started before COVID because of a really visionary commitment on the part of the Africa Center for Disease Control, led at the time by John Kengasong, to say that we need to keep the bugs in safe hands. You collect samples of Ebola, for example, and you have to deal with it in the laboratory. Well, you better make sure you keep Ebola inside. So just in short, is to make sure that dangerous pathogens are kept in safe hands in the laboratory when it's transported, and completely reduce the risk as far as possible. That's the goal of what it is we need to do.
SIMBA project, the Signature Initiative, started only a matter of a few years ago, but we set it up so that it had a short term, which was 0 to 18 months, then 18 months to 5 years as the medium term, and we're coming close to the end of the medium term, and we're looking forward to going into the long term, which is 5 to 10 years and beyond. But there are big issues about the need for funding. domestic funding, national funding, so that the reliance on funding from outside of the country is reduced to make things more sustainable as things go to the future. The global partnership critically depends upon the partnership with, in this case, African countries.
To work to develop the plans that are going to need to be put in place in their own countries, in their own regions, and ultimately across the entire continent. We will help shape that, and then we will identify those areas of the plan that are appropriate for funding through the global partnership, and we'll work very hard with our membership to identify appropriate resourcing to fulfill that plan going forward.
Looking into the future, I see the continent's readiness to deal with these highly pathogenic, highly dangerous pathogens actually, expanding and also having a harmonized approach to managing and handling some of these dangerous pathogens.